Hey there, it's Monkey. This is a base building and crafting 101 guide for Enshrouded. We're going to go over a few core concepts. It's going to be rested, comfort, and crafting. Then we're going to talk about the materials and items that we're going to be working with. And finally, we're going to build a house and craft a bunch of furniture for the inside of it. So let's go. Okay, let's talk about rested. Rested is a buff. You'll see it in the upper left-hand corner of the screen here. It gives you increased stamina and it increases your stamina regeneration rate. You're going to use stamina for sprinting, gliding, dodging, digging, a lot of physical things in this game. So having more stamina and having a faster recharge of it is pretty crucial. Now, in order to get rested, you have to have either shelter or be sitting or sleeping, have warmth, which is crucial to being rested, and having comfort. Every level of comfort is going to increase your rested bonus by 1 minute. Your base rested bonus is going to be 5 minutes. Now, as I talked about in another video, if you picked up this skill here, this well-rested bonus, that's going to increase your base rested duration by another 5 minutes. So you can start off with 10 minutes of rested plus 1 minute for every level of comfort that you have. Now, you'll see in the corner right now, I have warmth from the flame altar, and it's also giving me a comfort level of 5. So if I were to just sit down right here, I can actually get my stamina up sitting out in the open. So that's great because we're going to want some stamina because we're going to go around chopping down some trees. And we may get in a fight, who knows. Now, I already mentioned that every level of comfort increases your rested time by 1 minute. The way to increase the level of comfort in your base is going to be to build a bunch of furniture. Bed, table, lamps, you get the idea. In your crafting interface, right now, we don't have the ability to build any comforted items at all. That's because this is your personal interface. This is the type of crafting that you can do out in the field anywhere. If you need a campfire or a torch, you can do it through this crafting interface. Once we build a workbench, that is going to get its own crafting interface. And any other survivor that you rescue, they also have their own crafting interface. And I think it's important to remember that distinction, that there's going to be multiple crafting interfaces that you're going to learn to use and sort of have to jump back and forth between as you progress through the game and unlock more of them. Now, we're going to get around to making the workbench, but really one of the first tools we want to craft is going to be an axe. This is not a weapon. This is a tree chopping axe. If you saw in the previous video me cutting down a tree with a hatchet, it does not work very well. The tree cutting axe does a really great job of cutting down trees, and all we need to do, we're just going to come out here. When you're running around out here, especially in the beginning, just gather up anything that you run across. But we're going to gather some stone, open up our crafting interface, and again, we can do this type of crafting anywhere. We don't need to be next to our base. All the other forms of crafting are going to require being close to a base or having that special artisan in our camp. But we're going to craft this axe right now. And that will go, let's put it here in our inventory. And this is going to allow us to start taking down trees. I'm going to put a list of the materials that we need to gather in the upper right-hand corner. And we're just going to run around and gather up the things that we need. We already have things like torn cloth. We have enough of those. We already have some wax. If we happen to get some more wax, that'll be great. But otherwise, really at this point, it's just keying up on some things, going around, and gathering up all the materials we need. So already that's, 36 logs. I want you to note too, when I mention up here the total number of wood that you need 22 wood, plus you need some sort of a combination of 34 wood and stone. So that could be 20 wood and 14 stone, or 30 wood and 4 stone, something along those lines. That's for the foundation and the walls that we have for our house that we're going to build. Stone's pretty straightforward to gather when the rocks are small. The same thing applies for the string or plant fibers. Now, you can go over to the ruins that are right over here, and You can search them for string. If you went through the ruins before, something to note is that every couple of hours or every time you reload the game, everything resets. Everything outside of your base, that area that you set aside for your base, all resets. The chests will respawn items, all of that stuff. Now, this hive, this beehive that's up here, if you just walk up and harvest it, generally you'll avoid getting angry bees coming out and attacking you. If you chop at the tree with an axe or you attack the hive, then I feel like it's a higher chance for bees to come out and attack you. It can be a little difficult to fend them off, particularly early in the game. Now, if you're running around at night, these are berries. We can harvest them, but they're not going to give us anything other than berries. If you're running around at night, it'll be easier to spot fireflies. Fireflies, you'll see little areas on the ground that are lit up. Like in this situation, I stepped over some, and I learned the firefly lamp. That's good. That's a comfort item that we can learn. But we're just going to run around. Particularly, we're going to get some of these bushes. You can kill mobs if you want to, but this is a pretty safe area. We're just going to go around and collect all of these shrubs, because those are key right now to getting plant fiber and some twigs. We really need a lot of plant fiber to make string. We'll take down this brown tree. Remember, the brown leaves have more resin in them than the other ones. The other ones only have a chance of dropping resin. These are almost guaranteed, and sometimes you'll get way more resin. Okay, let's look at what we've got so far. Yeah, so we have the amount of string and plant fiber we need exactly, actually. Getting a couple more would not hurt. Okay, I think we have all the materials we need, so let's get to building. In order to build, you're going to need a construction hammer. You're also going to need to build your workbench. Now, the construction hammer, you can either build in your personal, your manual crafting interface, or you can actually build it from the workbench. It's one of the few items that you can build in either place. So we're just going to build it now, and then we'll build the workbench. The workbench actually goes into your inventory. You'll notice when you craft a lot of items, they actually wind up in your inventory, and then you place them from your inventory into the world. So in this case, now I can't build it on top of here, but we're just going to put the workbench for now off to the side. So opening up the workbench, you'll see it's a different set of items I can build. There is a construction hammer, same as for our manual crafting interface. But at this point, it's all of these blocks. As you progress through the game, you're going to learn more types of blocks that you can build. But at this point, it's wood and stone. And you'll also notice that when I'm in any other interface for crafting, whether it's Workbench or one of the survivors, say we rescue the blacksmith and we're going into the blacksmith interface for crafting, next to that you'll always find your manual crafting. That's the same one as if you were to use the hotkey to open it, your manual crafting tab as well. You'll always have those two interfaces pop up whenever you're using a special crafting interface, such as the Workbench in this case. Okay, so we need enough plant fiber to get to 400. So we're going to build 4 of these. Okay. We also learned a wooden window frame. We'll deal with that later. And then we need some sort of combination of, wood blocks and stone blocks. Okay, we'll go with that for now. That put these items in our inventory. Also keep in mind, we're working within the limits of our inventory right now. You can't drop the items on the ground, and you can't go over the inventory slots that you have right now without destroying items. So if you feel like you're really close or you want to get a storage chest built right now, go ahead and go to the workbench, and you can go to storage, and you'll have to make a string if you don't have one. I don't have one yet. I'll have to turn my plant fiber into string. And just craft a tiny chest if you feel like you need more space right now, because we're going to build one anyway with the materials we gathered. Okay, so we got our crafting hammer on the bar, and we hit tab to enter building mode. This is going to walk you through the tips for selecting more shapes. You can hit Alt to, well, I'll just get through these tips here. Right. So if you hold down Alt, it lets you switch through the different categories for the styles of shapes and stuff like that. So in this case, we're going to be picking the 4-meter section, and then we're going to use our mouse wheel, or you can use your hotkey to get to the 4-meter foundation. Now, we're actually going to build this around our altar. So you just want to set them down. The altar is going to be part of our house because it provides warmth and will just, you know, be built in. It's where you teleport back to when you return at any rate. 244. I need... Don't worry, we can move that table later. Okay, we've got a wood foundation down, and then we'll go to our walls, and then we're just going to put windows in the walls. It uses a little bit less materials to already have a window in there, plus it lets in a little bit of light. And we're going to switch to our rough stone block. You hold down control, and then you can switch the materials that you're using. Okay, I had to restart. I had like some weird, you know, lag that took place. I added one more foundation in front of the altar, and the reason why is because walls do not always connect over the edge of the altar the way they should. I have a different playthrough with my wife where like I don't have this issue, but it looks like it's popping up with this particular build. So it's not going to affect us too much. I'm going to put down these walls here. I'm doing stone. You can use control to switch between stone or wood depending on what you're doing. The material you use really in this case is just what's on hand. I'm going to put in windows everywhere. Now you could just do a solid wall, and then one of the neat things you can do here is if you switch to, say, the 1 meter block, you could then use, you know, right click to remove and take out whatever sort of, you know, holes you want from from that wall and make your own sort of custom window if you so desire. There we go. I made a penguin kind of window. But I'm just going to stick with the stock walls for the rest of these. And usually, like I said, in my other build, it just sort of connects right here. This is not allowing it to connect, so I'm just going to bump it out by 1. There's a little bit of a gap. It's not going to affect the structure itself, but I will probably come back and fix it, or maybe logging off and back in will have corrected it. I'm not really sure why it's popping up like that, but okay. So attaching the roof is pretty easy. Just, you know, grab the corners and rotate it around. And then we'll do the same thing over here. And then for the middle slats, we just drop it in place. Okay. Now I have a door that I crafted. Yeah. So we crafted a door, and we can just... You could leave it like just an opening if you wanted to. I'm going to have a door in here. And we'll just drop it right there. And now, there we go. Okay, so we've got, you know, our shelter. And, you know, we've got the warmth from the altar. And we've got comfort level 5 because of the altar provides that amount of comfort. For additional comfort items, we're going to come over here to the workbench. And one of the things we're going to want to craft is a crude mattress for sure. Everything you pick up, by the way, everything you craft pops into your inventory. And if you have a free slot on your bar, it'll pop into that one of those free slots on your main bar. Otherwise, it will be in your inventory, and you'll have to drag it to your bar to put it down. So, you know, we'll just put a bed down here, and that'll give us a level of comfort. If we wanted to, we could take, if we had enough string and if we had animal fur, could pick up our crude mattress off the ground and craft a crude wooden bed, which will give us another comfort because that's worth 2 comfort, whereas the crude mattress we crafted is only worth 1 comfort. Now with comfort, you want to craft, in order to sort of like maximize the comfort you can get, you want to craft one thing from each of these categories. So 2 beds, the comfort's not going to stack. Whichever one provides the most comfort, that's going to sort of win out. With the side table, it says +2 comfort. It takes less logs than that longer table. But notice when we put it down, the comfort level only went from 6 to 7. I think that's like a typo in their interface, basically saying it's 2 when it's really only worth 1. Chairs, we can craft a wooden stool. And then benches. So a chair and a bench, 2 different categories. So you'll want to make sure that you're crafting something from each of those categories to get stuff. And then illumination, a lot of things are covered. We're gonna craft a candle. We would need more fireflies, so we could run around at night gathering fireflies. I'll show you that shortly, but we're gonna just do this candle right now. So we'll put our stool down in front of the bench there, and then we'll grab the candle and this bench and put them down, and we'll just put the candle there. And I guess we'll put the bench over here against the wall. Okay, so we're up to 11 comfort. That's not bad. Now we have 21 minutes of rested, which is pretty solid, and that's with the these sparse offerings right here. Like I said, we could upgrade the bed another level. I don't think there's anything. Let me make sure I got everything. Yeah, oh no, sorry, the fireplace. So this fireplace will not only provide warmth, like a campfire or like the flame altar will do, but you can also cook with it like you can with a campfire. So even though it says that the fireplace is going to provide, let's go back over here and look. Even though it says that the fireplace will provide 2 comfort, it won't provide any more comfort than this, the flame altar will provide. So the flame altar already provides 5 comfort on its own. That supersedes the 2 comfort you could get here. Now, you could put that fire in some other place that's farther away from your flame altar. If you had your flame altar, far enough away that you weren't going to get comfort from it, like outside your house, then, you would just have less comfort. So you might as well stick the flame altar close to your house to get as much comfort as you can to begin with. We have one other thing that we're going to craft here, and that is going to be a tiny chest. We need string, so we'll switch over to manual crafting and craft up a couple strings, switch it back over to Workbench, and then we can go ahead and craft that tiny chest. Again, that pops into our inventory, and we'll just put it over here by the door. It doesn't matter. Facing doesn't matter. You can get at the chest no matter what, but we're going to put it right here near where we spawn in. And that's going to allow us to offload a lot of this stuff that we have right now. If you see off in the distance here, there's a little glow. Let me put the torch away. There's a little glow right there. That's where fireflies are. You can just come over here, collect them. Look around for more glows. There's another glow over here. Fireflies. They are useful for more than just a firefly lamp, but that's one of the things that you can craft that would have comfort if you didn't have wax for a candle or didn't want to make a candle. Let's say you're out and about and you're in the field and your rested is getting low and you want to recover your rested, but you don't want to run back to your base. Well, all you do is make sure you have some, make sure you have some wood on hand, and you can, if you find a place that has sheltered and comfort but no warmth. So we just open up our crafting interface, make a campfire, and put that down. And that will provide us the warmth we need to be considered, to be sheltered at this point. Now, this area only provides a comfort level of 4, but still, my rested is at 14 minutes and won't go below that as long as I'm in this area. If I found another place that may have a higher sort of innate comfort level, then putting down a source of fire in a sheltered area would let me get my perhaps even more rested back. But 14 minutes is a pretty good amount to recover, and that's based off of the 5 minutes of base rested plus the skill that I purchased that gives me an additional 5 minutes of rested plus the comfort level. The bed isn't just for getting comfort. If you particularly because the nights in Enshrouded are really, really dark. If you want to avoid the nights, you just, when it starts getting dark, you come over here and you sleep, and the night speed passes 60 times as fast. It will get you to morning that much quicker. You just, go to sleep for however you want, work on your base a little bit if you feel like it, but otherwise you can just finish sleeping, and then you're going to come out here and it's pre-dawn of morning the next day. And that's going to wrap it up for our base building and crafting guide. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any other tips or questions, drop them down in the comments. Don't forget to smash that like button down below and to touch the monkey down there in the corner and subscribe. It really helps me out. I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me today, and I'll see you next time. Take care.